I want to just, before I introduce you, Will, just make an apology to anybody watching this that can see up your shorts and any exposure going on. I want to just do an early disclaimer. It's not that sort of content, so...
Yeah, keep the cameras a bit high up.
Yeah, don't go too low. If you were the opposite sex for 1 week, what's the first thing you would do?
Have a wank. It was so awkward. And I was like, just fucking mention it.
Say something.
Just say anything.
Would you rather have shit that tastes like curry or curry that tastes like shit?
Who wrote this?
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm very hot and sweaty. I'm not wearing boxers. I feel free out here.
Will, talk to me about where your inspiration for writing jokes comes from.
It's definitely just real life experiences. So I just sort of write down sort of something that's happened to me, or a story or a situation, and then I would try and speak that on stage, and it'll be just a bit rambled to begin with, and then keep working on it and find out where the funny parts are. But yeah, it's mainly just stories from, I don't know, old school friends from Somerset. I grew up in Somerset, and there's lots of interesting people down there. I think I did a comedy course. That was like...
You did a comedy course?
I did a comedy course.
What's a comedy course?
I know.
I've heard that before.
It's crap. It's just a good way, but it's a good way to get people to do the first gig, because the first gig's the hardest. So we did this thing called the comedy school. We go there once a week, write some jokes, learn about whatever, and then you go at the end of your 6-week course, or whatever it is, they put on a gig for you, and you perform, and it's terrible. It's terrible.
Have you ever been on a roller coaster before?
That's good. I like that. Someone's been watching my material. That's good. No, I've not been on an adult roller coaster, no. To begin with, let's get to know the room. Give me a cheer if anybody in here has been on a roller coaster. Good for you.
Would you rather be born with a bunion on your lip or a testicle on your hand?
Testicle on my hand.
Why?
The hand, you can just keep it in your pocket. You don't want a bunion on your lip. Everyone's looking at your face all the time, and then, you know, kiss people.
But a ball bag on your hand.
No, but that's fine. That's like a thing. You can like put it behind your back when you're not ready to show someone. You can slap someone like that.
With a ball bag.
If you want to teabag someone, you can. But you don't need to. You can hide it a bit more rather than that is very prominent.
It's just there.
It's just there. Also, it's a bunion. It's rock hard. It's probably yellow. Probably needs a bit of, probably needs some cream on there.
Fair enough, fair enough. What was worse, the first day at school or your first ever gig?
First gig was hell. Yeah. First day at school was fine.
Well, how did your first gig go?
I just remember I went up with a bit of paper like that, shaking, like, I don't think I even looked at the audience, I was just like that. And then I woke up, and then I tripped on a shoe. Is that funny?
No, okay. Right.
It was terrible. And I read through it, sweating, and then like went home and was like, ugh.
Would you rather have shit that tastes like curry or curry that tastes like shit?
Who wrote this? I don't want to eat feces. I think that will, I know it tastes like a lovely booner, but I think eating the actual shit, I'm just looking around, no one can hear me. But I think eating the feces, I know it tastes like jalfrezi.
I'm not judging.
But I just think I don't want that in my body. So I think I'm going to do the other way, which is the
curry, the shit that tastes like shit. Okay.
Next question.
At the end, if you were the opposite sex for 1 week, what's the first thing you would do?
Have a wank. So I've realised I was funny when I first started. I think in secondary school, I sort of joined the school, and it's like your first day, and you're sort of getting to know people. And I didn't realise this, but I was sort of like making friends with like bigger boys, and I was like, right, I need this fucker on side.
Yes,
he looks like a maniac. I need to make him laugh, make him like me, and then he will be my like protection in school. So I was like subconsciously just like really focused on making people laugh and getting them on side like quick as I could to like build up this network of friends / bodyguards.
How much does your disability shape your comedy and your material?
I think to begin with, when I first, it's changing all the time. So to begin with, it was like, right, I've got to reference it at the top very quickly, and then just go into like my other material, which isn't about height or disability. And then I think over time, there's like situations that I would like to talk about a bit more. So I'm like experimenting, but yeah, I do talk about the disability, and I've got stories which have happened to me, I don't know, like weird situations that I've been in because of my height that I do like talking about on stage.
So you actually lean into it rather than, I'll do it reluctantly, but I don't really want to talk about my disability.
No, I think I'm leaning more into it the more I do stand up. I definitely, at the beginning, I was like, no, I'm just like, funny man, it's not about my height, and I think I'm leaning more into it and would like to talk about disability in a sort of accessible way for the crowd, I guess. I got this random message from someone on Facebook, and they saw my profile, and they were like, I can see you're a short person. Would you like to go on a stag do for money because of your height? I went onto the website, and there was this like, they do sort of tequila girls, naked butlers, and short dudes doing stag do's. And I went onto the advert specifically for short people, and it was called Stag Do Midget for Hire, title. Already off to a bad start. And there was a list of rules. Rule number 1, please do not pick up or throw the dwarfs. Why is that written down? That is panicking me. I've never seen that written down anywhere. I didn't know it was a thing. So I'm disgusted with this website, and I go back to the original woman who reached out to me. I said, look, I've been on your website. I think it's disgusting. I think it's degrading. It's dated. Like, I think you're facilitating this bad vibes. It shouldn't be done anymore. You know, how much are you even paying these people? And she goes, well, I give them 500 quid a night. I said, why didn't you say that at the beginning?
Have you ever had or seen a heckle that you've rated?
This is the best heckle ever. Someone was saying, someone was getting up to leave the gig. Yeah. Man on stage sort of stops him, say, hey mate, sorry, are you leaving? Goes, yeah, I'm leaving. Goes, oh, sorry, what do you do for work? And the bloke says, oh, I'm a teacher. What do you do? Obviously,
burned.
It was just like, it was humiliating.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
What do you do? It was just. My favourite film's Dumb and Dumber.
Okay.
So you watch that a million times, and I don't really watch films more than once ever. Yeah. But with that film, I could watch it. I just kept watching it, and I love Jim Carrey. I used to love Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire, and then I guess I got into watching stand-ups when I was a bit older. I used to love like Black American comedians like Chris Rock, Kevin Hart, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor. I used to love all of them from such a young age. And then, yeah, just like got to a certain point where I was like, I want to do stand. I don't know. I was always like the funny one in the group.
Worst gig? It's the worst gig you ever did? The deaf gig.
The deaf gig. Okay, I think I was with my ex at the time, and she hadn't been to a gig. Okay. I lived with her, and I don't think she'd even been to one yet. I got a gig at Angel Comedy Club, quite a nice comedy club. I was like, I'm doing 7 minutes there. I was like, come to this one. It's going to be really good. She came to that one, did the gig, got up on stage, and then I sort of like clocked eyes with her, and then I just went blank.
Really?
And then I just couldn't like, for the life of me, remember anything I was saying. And it was such a long pause. And I normally, if you forget, you just go to the crowd. Like, oh yeah, what do you do?
Totally through.
And then I was dying / not talking, and I kept on looking back at her face, and she was like that, and then it just kind of spiraled. It was a long pause, and then I crumbled for the rest of the set, and then we had a massive argument on the way home. So yeah.
So what was it about seeing her in the crowd that totally?
It's just obviously because you want it to go well, and that's normally when it doesn't go well. If you want it too much.
Okay.
Yeah, I was quite new. It was, yeah.
What was the argument about?
Well, I
Did you blame her?
Yeah, no. We were in the car, and she was silent, and then I don't think she like mentioned the gig. It was so awkward, and I was like, just fucking mention it.
Say something.
Just say anything. And she was like, well, I didn't know what to say. Yeah. It's so embarrassing.
Will, thank you very much, pal. Nice one, mate. Cheers. Bye.